Here's some of our favorite print magazine content from 2017, collected for your reading pleasure. Features closing in on dark matter. Dogged physicists are methodically sweeping through all the places where the elusive particles may be hiding. Cahill O'Connell checks their progress. Time to pop an anti-aging pill. It's no longer snake oil. Scientists have a pipeline of promising anti-aging compounds just waiting for human trials. Elizabeth Finkel reports. Where will the next wave of space exploration take us? One epic period of space exploration has come to an end. Richard A. Lovett looks forward to the next. The bad science of medical cannabis. Millions of people use cannabis as a medicine. That's not based on clinical evidence, nor do we know which of the hundreds of compounds in the plant is responsible for its supposed effects. Elizabeth Finkel reports. The next generation of weapons against antibiotic-resistant superbugs. For the past 70 years, antibiotics have given us the upper hand against microbial invaders. Now the bugs are fighting back. Gianni Lewis takes a look at the next generation of evolution-proof weapons being developed. How extremely large telescopes will reveal exoplanets. For astronomers, size matters. The new generation of extremely large telescopes will show us, for the first time, what exoplanets are really like. Fred Watson takes a closer look. Locked, loaded and ready to roll. San Andreas fault danger zones, blind faults, missing links and ever-building stress. Kate Revilius finds out what keeps seismologists in California up at night. How big is the universe? There is no bigger empirical question in astrophysics than how big space is. Cahill O'Connell provides a brief history of ideas about the size and shape of the universe. Einstein, Bohr and the origins of entanglement. Two of history's greatest physicists argued for decades over one of the deepest mysteries of quantum mechanics. Today, their successes are opening new fronts in the battle to understand spooky action at a distance, writes Robin Arianrod. More features. Irregular is capturing the Earth as art. Since 1996, the Sally Ride EarthCam program, sponsored by NASA, has enabled school students around the world to remotely point and shoot a special camera on the International Space Station. Intergenerational contagion. Diseases trapped in ice. As global temperatures head north, Arctic permafrost is thawing to unprecedented depths, reanimating a small army of deadly microbes, dormant, in some cases, for millennia, that could rise from the slush to infect humanity. The microscopic majesty of pollen. It literally gets up the nose of millions of hay fever sufferers, making pollen a distinctly unpopular member of the floral world. But there are many reasons to love these gossamer grains. 4 beguiling organisms from beneath the waves. Deep-sea submersibles equipped with highly sensitive video cameras capture a dazzling light show beneath the waves. What we have learnt by exploring Mars. The Schiaparelli probe made headlines in October 2016 when it crash-landed on Mars. It wasn't a disaster, though. It was mainly a practice run for the European Space Agency's next mission to the Red Planet. More galleries. Harry Collins, Numbers and Math. Magic Supernova Vu, all over again. When astronomers saw a star explode, they knew, thanks to Einstein, that they could watch it again a year later. Katie Mack explains. The real gleam in the imaginary eye. By embracing eye, the scope and power of mathematical manipulations are enormously broadened. Paul Davies explains. The cold truth about brown fat. Is there really a link between warmth and gestational diabetes? Norman Swan investigates. The future of hydrogen fuel. Heaters and cookers may one day burn climate-friendly hydrogen instead of natural gas. Alan Finkel explains. The geometry vanishes. Magicians have long taken advantage of obscure mathematical principles in creating interesting puzzles and illusions. Jason England explains. Why planetary protection meant Cassini had to die. It's not easy. Stop microscopic creatures hitching a ride into space. That's where the Planetary Protection Office comes in, explains Katie Mack. The mystery of meningitis. Meningitis is generally a disease doctors expect to see only in children or young adults. So clinicians' antennae aren't up when someone older comes into the surgery sick, writes Norman Swan. Tesla versus Edison. The AC-DC current wars make a comeback. In the late 19th century, Nikola Tesla defeated Thomas Edison in the AC-DC battle of electric current. Now, Alan Finkel writes, Edison's side is making an unlikely comeback. Why is a neutron slightly heavier than a proton? Only the slightest difference between the neutron and proton makes them weapons of mass creation, writes Paul Davies. Magic and Maths. Find the day of the week for any date. Devised in the early 1970s, the Doomsday algorithm involves memorizing codes, century-specific days, and dividing numbers by 12 or 4, writes Jason England. More columns here.